Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the secrets of our collective past. Today, we set our sights on one of the most remarkable feats in the history of exploration, Magellan's Circumnavigation. This extraordinary voyage, which began in the early 16th century, would change the course of human understanding forever, bridging the East and the West in a way that was previously unimaginable. As we delve into the origins of this monumental endeavor, let us transport ourselves to the bustling ports of Portugal, where the seeds of adventure were sown. It is here, in the vibrant city of Lisbon, that we find our protagonist, Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer with an unyielding passion for discovery. The year is 1505, and Magellan, then a young man of 25, has already begun to make a name for himself as a skilled navigator. Having participated in several expeditions to India and Africa, including the voyage of Francisco de Albuquerque to Malacca in 1508, we find ourselves in the midst of a thriving maritime culture, where the sounds of gulls fill the air, and the smell of salt water and tar waft through the streets. The docks are abuzz with activity, as merchants and sailors from all corners of Europe converge on the port city, sharing tales of their adventures and seeking new opportunities. It is amidst this vibrant backdrop that Magellan's fascination with the idea of reaching the Spice Islands by a western route begins to take shape. In the early 1510s, Magellan becomes increasingly fascinated with the works of ancient geographers, such as Ptolemy and Strabo, who wrote of a southern passage to the Pacific. He spends countless hours poring over maps and charts, studying the celestial bodies, and consulting with other navigators and explorers, including the renowned cartographer Pedro Reinel. The accounts of Marco Polo, who traveled to Asia in the 13th century, are among his most prized possessions, and he devours the stories of far-off lands and exotic cultures. As Magellan refines his plan, he garners support from influential figures, including the Portuguese nobleman Diogo Lopes de Sequeira, who shares his vision of a western route to the Spice Islands. In 1513, Magellan presents his proposal to King Manuel I of Portugal, outlining a route that would take him across the Atlantic, through the straits at the tip of South America, and into the Pacific. Although the king is intrigued by the proposal, he is hesitant to commit to such an ambitious venture, citing concerns about the cost and the risks involved. Undeterred, Magellan continues to lobby for support, gathering a small but dedicated group of backers, including the wealthy merchant Christopher de Herodotus. Together, they work tirelessly to refine their plan, poring over charts and maps, and seeking out new information about the unknown waters of the Atlantic. The year is 1517, and the winds of change are blowing across Europe, carrying with them the whispers of a new world, waiting to be discovered. As we conclude our examination of the precursors to Magellan's epic voyage, we find ourselves poised on the threshold of a new era, an era of unprecedented exploration and discovery. The stage is set for the main act of our story, as Magellan and his crew prepare to embark on their perilous journey, navigating treacherous seas and uncharted territories. Join me next, dear listeners, as we venture into the heart of this extraordinary adventure, where courage, curiosity, and the unwavering human spirit come together in a tale that will leave you breathless and inspired. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the epic tale of Magellan's circumnavigation. As we now delve into the heart of this extraordinary adventure, we find ourselves in the year 1519, with Magellan's fleet of 5 ships, including the Trinidad, the Victoria, the Santiago, the San Antonio, and the Conception, setting sail from the port of Sanlúcar de Barrameda in Spain. The crew is a diverse group of seasoned sailors, soldiers, and noblemen, all united by their desire for wealth, fame, and discovery. As they navigate the treacherous waters of the Atlantic, Magellan's leadership and navigational skills are put to the test. He must contend with mutinous crew members, scurvy, and the ever-present threat of shipwreck. The crew faces numerous challenges, including a grueling crossing of the equator, where they encounter the intense heat and humidity of the tropics. One of the most significant events of this period occurs in November 1520, when Magellan's fleet reaches the tip of South America and navigates the treacherous strait that now bears his name. The Strait of Magellan is a narrow and winding waterway that connects the Atlantic to the Pacific, and it proves to be one of the most daunting challenges of the entire voyage. As they emerge from the strait, the crew is awestruck by the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, which stretches out before them like an endless blue horizon. They have never seen anything like it before, and the sheer scale of the ocean fills them with a sense of wonder and trepidation. Over the next few months, Magellan's fleet sails across the Pacific, encountering numerous islands and indigenous populations along the way. They visit the island of Guam, where they are met with hostility by the native Chamorro people, and later arrive in the Philippines, where they are welcomed by the ruler of the island of Cebu, Raja Humabon. It is during this period that Magellan's crew becomes the first Europeans to reach the Spice Islands, a group of islands in present-day Indonesia that are renowned for their rich deposits of cloves, nutmeg, and other valuable spices. The crew is amazed by the wealth and beauty of these islands, and they spend several weeks trading with the local inhabitants and replenishing their supplies. As we reach the height of Magellan's circumnavigation, we find ourselves in the midst of a truly historic moment, one that will have far-reaching consequences for the course of human history. The crew has overcome countless challenges and obstacles, and they have achieved what was thought to be impossible: a westward route to the Spice Islands. And yet, as we look to the future, we know that Magellan's journey is far from over. The crew still faces numerous dangers, including the long and arduous journey back to Europe and the ever-present threat of mutiny and disaster. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our journey through the epic tale of Magellan's circumnavigation. As we now delve into the decline and aftermath of Magellan's circumnavigation, we find ourselves in the year 1521, with Magellan's fleet having reached the Spice Islands and achieved their goal of establishing a westward route to the valuable spices of Indonesia. However, the crew's joy is short-lived, as they soon face numerous challenges and tragedies that will ultimately lead to the end of their journey. One of the most significant events of this period occurs on April 27, 1521, when Magellan is killed in the Battle of Mactan, a fierce conflict with the warriors of the island of Mactan in the Philippines. The battle is sparked by Magellan's support for the ruler of the island of Cebu, Raja Humabon, who is seeking to expand his territory and influence in the region. Despite being outnumbered, Magellan and his men fight bravely, but they are ultimately defeated, and Magellan is struck down by a poisoned arrow. The loss of their leader is a devastating blow to the crew, and it marks the beginning of the end of their journey. The remaining ships, now under the command of the Spanish navigator Juan Sebastian Elcano, set sail for Europe, but they face numerous challenges, including mutinies, shipwrecks, and the ever-present threat of disease and starvation. Despite these challenges, Elcano and his crew persevere, and on September 6, 1522, they arrive back in Spain, having completed the first circumnavigation of the globe. The journey has taken them over 3 years to complete, and only one ship, the Victoria, has survived the ordeal. Of the original crew of over 200 men, only 18 remain, and they are hailed as heroes upon their return. The legacy of Magellan's circumnavigation is profound and far-reaching. It opens up new trade routes and establishes Spain as a major naval power, paving the way for the age of exploration and the colonization of the Americas. The journey also provides valuable insights into the geography and cultures of the regions visited, and it helps to spur further exploration and discovery. As we look back on Magellan's incredible journey, we are reminded of the courage, curiosity, and determination that drove him and his crew to achieve what was thought to be impossible. Their story is a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the boundless potential of the human spirit. Join me next time on History with Herodotus, as we explore more epic tales from history and examine the people and events that have shaped our world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present,